Saturday night gives us 2 games of NBL to look forward to. The first one will be Perth travelling to New Zealand, and the second will be Illawarra heading up north to take on Cairns. Now, before we get into anything, subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and don't forget to let us know what you think's going to happen in the match in the comment field there. Now, first things first, New Zealand Breakers. Is it really worth you travelling all the way to the US at the start of the season to come back and struggle through this heavy part of your schedule? The Breakers looked extremely tired against Brisbane on Thursday night, and you could really see that in how they played. There's some really key statistics, but none more than the fact they threw up 35 three-point attempts, not really finding the energy to try and work things out and move the ball into the paint and work around low. Now, tough task against Brisbane, obviously, with Bannon and Harrison in there, but definitely not worth 35 threes when you're shooting at 25% from the perimeter. Now, coming up against Perth is going to be tough. If they play like that again, I think we'll definitely see the strength of Christian Doolittle, who has been probably Perth's best player this season, where he is averaging now 15 points per game and also pretty close to 10 rebounds as well. So, yeah, it's going to be really, really tough for the Breakers. I think playing 2 games in 3 days is a big, big ask, and it is going to hurt their offense, which is already struggling this year. They rank 9th in the NBL with an average of just 81.7 points per game. But the positive for them really is that Perth has been a little bit off as well, have not been shooting that great at any high percentage from the field, and are also averaging just 86 points per game, which is ranked 7th in the league. So when we're looking at this one, I do believe Perth are going to have the legs, and they'll pick up the tempo and really run New Zealand off the floor, which means that they will cover the 4.5 points as favourites in this one. And with the scoring drying up a little, there's going to be a lot of 3-point attempts. If they sink, we might be in trouble, but I do believe this game is going to go under 178.5 points total. So there are your 2 tips for Perth versus New Zealand. We move on to the next one, Cairns versus Illawarra, take 2. Now, the first time these guys played together, it was 102-75 in favour of the Hawks. Now, the big stat in that one was the Hawks did what they have done for the rest of the season and put the ball in the paint using the low game as their strength. They scored 60 points to Cairns 26 in the paint in that first game, and that'll be a tactic that they're going to use again, especially with Tanner Groves, the big bear, missing out of the Cairns lineup. Now, the margin in this one is going to pretty much depend on if Taran Armstrong plays or does not play. He's going to be a game time decision, but either way, I think that the Hawks will definitely cover the 5.5 points that they are starting behind in this one as the favourite, because they can simply do not have the depth to keep up with Illawarra in this game. It's all been about, Darius Days, Froling, and how strong they've been with Trey Kell and Harvey. But the big one for the Hawks is actually their bench. You've got Hickey, you've got Lee, and you've got Albridge that have all been playing phenomenal. They've been scoring, but they've also been defending better than any bench players in the competition. Between the 3 of them, they're averaging a differential of plus 35. So scoring and able to stop their opponents' first 5 or bench players. So Cairns simply don't have the depth, especially when they're struggling with injury. If Taran Armstrong doesn't play, this game is going to be another massive blowout. So simply expect the Hawks to cover the 5.5 points as the favourite. They'll go over their team total of 95.5 as they're averaging 104 points per game this season already. And then look for double D Darius Days to get a double-double. How many Ds can you fit in one sentence? I don't want to know. But anyway, that's the tips for Cairns versus Illawarra. Now just remember, gamble responsibly and happy punting.